Present, Professor.
Okay.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Yes.
So, next speaker is Michael Sembring from the Department of Logistics Engineering from Indonesia, University Pertamina, Indonesia. That's correct. So,
Yes,
and
correct.
he's going to present crude palm oil waste treatment facility with carbon tax benchmarking.
Okay.
You can share your presentation and start when you want.
Okay, the screen is ready.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Greeting from Medan, North Sumatra. I'm Michael Sembring, Worldwide President with ID 310 entitled Crude Palm Oil Waste Treatment Facility with Carbon Tax Benchmarking. I introduce the distinguished lecturer, Dr. Dina and Dr. Wira from Jakarta. This is a table of content which I will deliver consists of introduction, literary review, method, data and model, result and discussion, and the end but not last, version result. Introduction. Indonesia is the world's largest exporter of palm oil. Of course, this is very important to think about the sustainability of palm oil, which is attached to the life cycle analysis. It is necessary to ensure the carbon footprint in supply chain of crude palm oil by waste treatment facility. So this research focuses on placing the construction of waste oil palm empty fruit bunch processing facilities into derivative products that have added value. And then research statement. A previous study conducted by Rajakat et al. 2021 explained a sustainability agro-industrial value chain with a mixed integer linear programming model which takes profit, carbon footprint, and water footprint, optimization of the expected increase in the demand of a particular agro-industrial product. Our study proposed a mixed integer linear programming for a green facility problem. The model is used to decide the facility location and location of CPO waste treatment by considering financial and environmental factors, including emission costs, transportation costs, and development costs as well. And next, literature review. Crude palm oil received several negative responses due to carbon dioxide emission generated during the production process. Agreement on emission standard produced by the palm oil industry is stated in ISO 40040 and ISO 40044. On the figure, participants can see the impact of factor evaluation combining for technique, environmental, and human attitudes. And next, here are several literature reviews. First, taking into account the natural aspect, as in the previous figure, Ramudian et al. 2008 proposed mixed integer programming for green supply chain. And next, while Yorimoto and Katayama developed an algorithm to obtain the ideal number and location of public distribution center in Tokyo with the aim of reduction amount of pure carbon dioxide emission. Just like Chen and Fang, also in 2012, create a B programming model to minimize the general cost of raw material and transportation. So we can see that many previous results want to minimize costs, especially due to carbon emission produced. And next, methods. Mixed integer linear programming is often used for system analysis and optimization because it presents a flexible and a robust method. And from this, we modify it significantly to suit existing needs, especially the case for oil palm plantation in Indonesia. And then Samir et al. Consider three issues, consist of logistic, environmental, and economy. And then Environmentally friendly waste processing facility need to be built by considering decision variable. When we want to build an environmentally friendly waste treatment facility, it needs to be built by considering decision variable. It can be seen in the figure that in order to achieve the CPO waste treatment facility with carbon emission reduction, it has several constraints: investment feasibility and carbon emission target to produce green facilities. Or in general, consider three objectives, namely optimizing transportation costs, emission costs, and development costs. And next, for set in our model, there are three, namely I, crude palm oil manufacturing facility set, J, facility candidate of green factory location set, and set K for transportation facility preference. We use two types of truck. First type refers to light truck with a full load of 2,000 tons. Second type refers to heavy truck with a load of 4,000 tons. On the right side, we use the Association of Crude Palm Oil Producer of Indonesia, West Kalimantan Province, as a particular 5 major state-owned companies plantation. And next, as seen in the table, distance metrics in kilometers, there were 5 estate plantation profile, which include the optimum distance. This data will be inputted into P-median model. To figure out the real distance or math, participants can see the facilities candidates spatially dispersed within 5 locations: A, B, C, D, and E. And next, objective functions and parameters. We suggest P-median consists of 3 objective functions and parameters as follows: weight 1, weighting factor of transportation cost; weight 2, weighting factor of development cost; and weight 3, weighting factor of carbon dioxide emission cost. From the objective function that has been done, So from the objective function that has been done, this is the result. For illustrative explanation, as participants can see in the figure, illustration facility candidate of P equal to 1. P means number of facility candidates. When P1 method choose facility in versus 1 Parindo, estate plantation, it means this location meet the demand of for another plantation, or all demand plantation from A, B, D, E goes to C. And then the facility of waste management treatment by considering 3 objective functions is located in versus 1 Parindo of West Kalimantan Province. And how it is calculated, I will explain more in the next slide. So this is the result. Distance matrix data is inputted at ample software that coding program, the P-median green facility model. And then objective function consider all factor, and we want to build one facility or P equal to 1. Here we can see C chosen facility. So why we choose C? What is the transportation mode alternative regarding C? The process ample result with 3 objective functions have determined C as the selected candidate facility by using heavy truck. Total cost on facility C approach 1.5 billion rupiah. And the result of the ample calculation also compare the 2 conditions with development cost and without development cost. And the result when we using the development cost factor, A and C chosen facilities, and without development cost factor, C and D chosen facilities. In general, as we seen in table 2, ample calculate 3 objective functions with several chosen facility. For example, facilities C and D as P2 median could bear on various costs as follows: transportation cost 2.5 million, development cost 1.5 billion, and emission cost 500.5 million. and total cost of facility approached 2 billion. Next, the discussion our result. So from modifying P-median model, produce green facility model, present solution for decision maker in building a crude palm oil waste treatment facility, consider three main factors, namely transportation costs, development costs, and emission costs. P-median method that aims to produce an optimal distance between demand point and facility by considering the amount of waste output in each node, so that waste CPU waste plant can be easier and cheaper because the distance is not too far from the facility. And the last version result. First off, the oil palm plantation is also most effective carbon sequestration plantation compared to another vegetable oil production, which is interest for version result. And the second, consider the integration of facility location with routing decision using vehicle routing problem, as shown in the figure. River transportation from point A to be a multimodal transportation. What I present is therefore of the result of previous research present in the following publication. So that's why we invite distinguished ladies and gentlemen to deliver your input and comments. I think that's all for me. Thank you, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael, for your interesting presentation. Someone want to put a question?
Yeah, I have questions actually.
Okay.
Thank you for the presentation. One of the questions that I have is the weight that you give to the three objectives that you're trying to approach. You are trying to optimize the development cost, the CO2 emission, right, and the general
Yes.
cost. Did they have the same weight in the objective function? Because you passed very quickly. I couldn't see very well the objective function when you show it. So I was not sure. Do they have the same weight? If yes, why you choose to give them the same weight?
Okay, thank you, Prof. Duet, from your question. So we use a weighting factor. I can share my presentation. So in the result, we use weighting factor with all factor. The factor is development cost, emission cost, and transportation cost.
Yeah, the question is, if you go back, please, to your objective function, there is a slide where you have the equations in
Yes.
the AP. Yes, here, this one, the APML. It's, I think, slide. Okay, so here you didn't show exactly the weights, like it was W1, W2, W3. But if you go to slides 14, if I'm not mistaken, the one where you have the A, B, yes, here.
Yes.
So here, in this one, again, it's W1, W2, W3 without showing if W1 is equal to W2 is equal to W3. So did you give them the same, the transportation cost? Is it as important as the development cost, as the emission cost?
So in our model, it is the same because we to minimize three factor to development CPO waste treatment facilities.
So if it's the same, then we can just drop it from the equation, correct? Then no need to have it.
If I may, perhaps
Yeah, go ahead.
have add a little bit helps for Michael. Everyone, good night actually here from Jakarta. It's very nice to see all of you.
Good morning here for me.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Waraikat. Also Professor Ali, I saw also coming in the discussion. Oh well, actually, I'll make it fast. We make the model to be robust enough to be considered as the stakeholder later, so that they can play with those weighting factors. Okay, at this moment we try to provide the same weighting, same factors for all of those contributing costs. It means that we give them the same proportion to be considered as the main factor to be considered to locate those facility locations. But perhaps later, when we want to play with I think the transportation cost might be more important, so we can increase those weight. Okay, so
Yeah,
for
so maybe I may suggest that for future insight, you can consider doing like a kind of Monte Carlo simulation or
Exactly.
simulation, changing the weights and see the impact of the solution based on the weights.
Exactly, very good suggestion. I think we will accommodate that for our future research, perhaps for the journal version of it. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
now, no problem. My second question, if no one else have a question. Okay, so here you were trying to find one location, correct, as P median facility problem. Is that reasonable also, or can that be, it's better to have one, let's say, facility next to each factory, or it is just like by the objective of from where you get this problem, that they just need to have one facility to do this kind of waste management?
I think Michael may want to answer, or Budina,
okay.
please. Yeah.
Okay. I try to make to add the explanation from Pak Wira and Michael side. So why we choose the similar facilities in each areas? Because we consider about the carbon tax emissions. Because in Indonesia, particularly in crude palm oil industry, there are each plantation not have particularly the manufacturing CPO waste management. So when we choose in particular locations, it means they have similar situations about the facilities. Maybe that's all from us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? No other question? Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if we have another speaker. Francesco, can you help me?
We are not
Okay.
listening. Okay.
Is there any other presenters? I see the.
I think not.
Not.
No, I don't think so. I'm checking the names, but just to check, is there any other presenter?
I don't see them in the participant list.
Okay, me neither. So I think what we do,
So,
we can.
Anna, you have your presentation, right?
Yes, Marlene Brash presented.
Oh, you already presented, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So mainly Anna and Michael, you do two presentations, right?
Yes.
So I am contacting 51 from Philippines, then 180 from Masha and Manav.
180, yeah.
I will see where are they.
And 234 is missing also.
And 500.
Yeah.
500. 500.